Alrighty. We're going to give it this try, kind of a different setup. Very much just copying ThiccPod's and how he does his recordings. Mostly because I tried with the actual proper camera, and it's meant to have just a set focus, and this guy will do autofocus. You should actually be able to see what I'm working on with some consistency. It is kind of very much jerry-rigged as of right now, so we'll see how this goes. This is just going to be, record it, see how it goes, see whether or not it works. The mic is also like like a foot above where it needs to be for my head. But whatever, this is fairly chill. I just have some iPod parts that I want to get set up. So let's see, there's some background music on. So yeah, right now I've got the Thick Boy iPod with all the fingerprints in the world on it. These guys are cool. They have a giant battery, which makes them really nice to just have as the thing. I'll use them a lot with these guys because they're pretty easy to power. The KPH30, there you can hopefully see it there. Focus. Phone. There we go. KPH30Is. These guys are a lot of fun, and the iPod will power them easily. Just kind of a great setup. However, this guy, the hold switch is broken, and I wanted to see if I could get things working. You can actually get the same amount of battery of the Thick Boy into one of these thinner cases if you have the right adapter. So I went and got the correct adapter, which is the iFlash Quad. I'm not going to fully populate it because I just don't need that much storage. Some spare parts. And then you can get a slightly thinner 3000 milliamp battery, which apparently these two things combined with a thin case will work just fine. So I got a thin case with new hold switch, new headphone jack. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So just gotta take all the pieces from point A and put them in point B. I'm just checking here. It looks like, is that supposed to be? I guess just kind of sit back like that. So yeah, pretty straightforward. We're gonna just take the contents out of here, swap it out for these. Let's see, am I missing tools? I feel like I had. Did I use a plastic one before? No, I think I used one of these guys. All right, so yeah, let's just dig into it, as it were. I'll try to be gentle with this case because I would like to save it if I can. But if I need to fully replace it, it's not the end of the world. Yeah, see, there you go. Just scratch the absolute crap out of it there. Let's start from this side. Yeah, see, it's just gonna be one of those days. It's the first time I've ever done one of these on camera, and of course I'm going to just destroy this case. Oh, come on. If you don't want to cooperate. Oh, there we go. Start with the sharper side here. There we go. Should be able to kind of work our way. Let's see. Even I put the hold switch on. Hold switch not working so good. Yeah, unfortunately, this guy's gonna be alive the entire time. I guess I could. Well, if I shut it off, it's just gonna turn back on when I press a button accidentally. So we're doing it live. There we go. Let's try to be gentle about popping it out. This has come apart a couple times before, so it should be fairly forgiving. There we go. All right, not too bad there. They're pretty much, they'll pretty much just come apart like this. There we go. So yeah, bad hold switch, unfortunately. And then this is just the board that I had previously. So let's see. Trying to do this. Making sure it stays in frame. Don't want to damage you. There we go. There we go. There's our back case apart. This is the one that I first bought for the first mod I did, which was a 128. There you go. Which was 128. Which I actually did use with this board as well. But yeah, just kind of, it was one of the, there's two versions of iPods basically. There's the iPod with a lower amount of system memory, which is, I want to say 32 megabytes, which is what this guy is. And then there's the one with more memory, which is 64, I believe. The 32s will do just fine up to like, I want to say 256, but I had better luck with 128 in mine. There's nothing wrong with them. I switched all my music over to ALAC, which is kind of like FLAC, but Apple FLAC. And this guy was just struggling to play it. I think just because of the size of the files. So someone suggested that, if you get the board with more memory, it'll probably have an easier time playing the ALACs. I did. It worked. It was great. But yeah, then I kind of went down the rabbit hole of, hey, you can get the smaller one with the same amount of battery. And I was like, well, it'd be kind of fun to have a smaller iPod again. Actually, these guys look almost identical. I think the only difference is, so the background's the old one. You can see it is a little taller and a little thinner. I think that just allows it to sit a little farther back in the case. But yeah, both 3000 milliamps, which is pretty cool. Let's save that guy for another day. Another mod, because I am sure this will not be the last iPod mod I do. So yeah, this is the board that I had already with a little 512 in it. Worked great, but yeah, you do need a slightly different board. There we go. You need a slightly different board to make everything come together in the thin setup. So that's what this guy's for. Now this guy, unfortunately, when he arrived, was in a pretty chewed up package and was like 2 weeks late. Let's see. So you can see that it's got all these like scuff marks and stuff on it, and there was a bunch on here as well. It almost looks like it got caught in the machine, like some sort of sorting machine, where it was maybe just kind of spinning against a wheel or something. That might be where all this came from. So I'm hoping the board isn't damaged, which is part of the reason why I'm kind of rushing to get this all together, because I want to report back to the seller whether or not the board survived the shipping process. It's kind of unfortunate that it's even something I have to worry about, but unfortunately that's just kind of how things go. Well, let's see, am I still in frame? Oh my goodness, I'm still in frame and everything. I said, not really all that familiar with this. Oh, this is kind of fiddly to do though. So it should be just kind of sitting like that. Trying to figure out the best way to get everything lined up and be able to actually hit the pressure the right way to get it in there. It is small components. I have a few spare of these ribbon cables, but I never endeavor to break anything. So there we go. Let's see. All right. I can just press this guy in like that. So you can see even. Oops, okay. You can see even it's almost flush with the frame there. Let's see if I can get it to focus here. So you can see it's pretty much flush with the frame when you push it down like that. So that's good. And the battery's pretty straightforward as well. I'm just gonna put a little bit of a bend there. I think that's still all the way up. Let me just check. This little tiny tab here. If my camera would focus. My camera being my cell phone, of course. So there's this little tiny, let's see this guy here. Gotta make sure he's up and loose so that the tag can seep in. A little less room to work on this one than the other one so far as the battery placement, just because of the cable being on this side. There we go. So kind of, sorry, hard to show and do because it's on the other side there, but looks like we're in there. Looks like we're in there. So just give this a little press down. And generally, what you want to see with stuff like with these little ribbon cables is there's usually a small. Let's see if we can get it to focus. Oh. There we go. There's usually a small line that needs to be just barely visible when the connector is pressed down. So here the connector is fully pressed down and you can see that white line is pretty close to where the connector ends. So that's usually going to be good enough. All right, so there's the battery in place. Now we should have enough room to, there we go, shift that over. Make sure you need to pick this up and flip it over. And now we need to get that connector in there. Which is going to be this guy here, which looks like they actually prevent it, which should make it nice and easy. get my head closer, but I blocked the camera, unfortunately. Who knows, this might not even make it to a video, depending on how crap this looks in the end. Not trying to be the next ThiccPod, but I do enjoy hobbyist stuff, and this counts. And also, took the day off because my wife and son are sick, so I was here anyway. I figured I might as well get it done while the boys napping. Oh boy, this part, the angle is so weird. Editing. Alright. How can I do this better? Really, that probably should have been the first thing I plugged in now that I'm thinking about it, but let's see. I see you falling for the darkness. Would you let me in? So creative. Okay. Best do this. I think actually I'm going to undo some of my work here. It'll be easier to work with. I think if I do that, then I can kind of. We'll take this guy out too. See, very efficient. Put things in, undo things, revert back. Those little plastic connectors you do got to be careful with. You can snap them off pretty easily too. So. Struggling. Hard to keep it in the light and in the camera. And actually get it in. Come on. What I'm gonna get for studio lighting. Let's see everything at all times. I don't think this is gonna be in frame, unfortunately, but I don't have all day to film this, so at a certain point I just need to get the thing in there. We'll do that. Life is filled with mysteries. So explore and learn your lessons and create some memories. No rainy days, the fog will clear away. No more time to say. See it? Yeah, we got it. Okay. There we go. Okay, so yeah, same story with this. You'll see. Once the ribbon cable's in there, you should be able to close the connector and have just a little bit of that line exposed, which we do. That's perfect. So now we're going to go back and do all the other stuff, which will be. So you kind of lift a lot of these connectors with your fingernails. Be careful not to snap them off because they are not super robust. There we go. And the rest of the way up. Like this is probably the easiest. There we go. And flip him over. And now it's your turn. Come on. Eat in the thing. There we go. So for this one, there's no real indicators. I'm just waiting to see all the gold of the tabs for that to disappear kind of behind the white part of the connector, which I was able to achieve. So we're going to put that down on top of it. Seems to sit fairly naturally like that, so we're just going to fold it over. Alright, we are off hold, so we should be able to just power it on. Ooh, okay, that's good. So you can see all the glare. Yay. So as you can see, there we go. Apple logo. Flick to my mic. Okay, cool. So that's not too bad. That's good. That means if we plug it in, we should be able to format it. Let me go grab my cable. I knew before I started there was one thing I was forgetting to grab. Of course, it's the cable. Can't leave them long enough. Only just. There we go. Let's see. iTunes. Delicious fluids. So yeah, basically why it's doing this is I have three SD cards in there that were freshly formatted before I installed them. So of course there's no information. It doesn't really know what to do with it. It's just like, it's empty. There's the thing. Now please wait. Very low battery. Okay, well that's fair. So it is a new battery. Let's see, close this up. I really gotta label all my random storage boxes. iPod shit. Well, that is a pretty decent sign. At least it's not giving me the full unhappy logo. That should mean that the board that's in there is not broken, at least. So, also, while we're waiting for that, got the new encoder for the mouse and some of these side button switches here. These tiny little guys there. These phone. There we go. These tiny little switches here, which are like even smaller than the small switches. So we swapping those in at some point to the other mouse that I have that I work on. So yeah, so you've got your encoder, and I've got another encoder coming in, and you've got these Kale, I forget what they call them. So the red ones are your normal, your kind of normal size mouse switch, and then you've got these guys here, which, so these I usually see referred to as micro switches, and then these, I don't know, micro minis, I guess, but they're absolutely tiny. But yeah, so I'll be working on that at some point. Turns out the encoder that came with my mouse was the stock encoder, not the aftermarket one that I was hoping. So I've got one for the S2, Fornamods S2. Which is the other build that I've done before. Hey, look, now you can actually see it. It's not blurry. See? Gorgeous. The ceramic feet, which I love. Yeah, this guy's awesome. I really like this as a mouse. I do have some work I need to do with this switch here is very easily actuated. I think I need to take some material off just so it's not pressed up against the frame in the way that it is now, because I can actually, that's me actuating it there. So and there's just like no travel that I can get in there. So got work to do on that kind of stuff. All right, I might actually just need to leave this to charge. So I'm gonna do that and pick up the recording in a little bit. So be right back. Alrighty, we are back. Let's see. Please wait, a low battery still. It's been a couple hours. I would expect this to have resolved. Let me see if I can put it in disk mode here. Apple logo. I'm just waiting for the. Let's see, pop into disk mode. Eventually. There we go. Okay, connect to your computer. Good. Connected. I don't know if there's a way for me to get that in the screen. Nothing on the computer yet. Okay, yep, just gotta be boop on the computer. waiting for the pop-up of blah blah blah, need to restore blah blah blah. And iTunes for Windows, which is kind of terrible, but it's what you gotta deal with it. Windows dialog, I wonder. Try relaunching iTunes. Okay, just rebooted. Not sure why. Unhappy iPod. At least we got the backlight. Turn off notifications. Reset it. Alright, just heard Windows go. Sure, let's see if there is in Windows device manager here. We get anything shown up here? Interesting. All right. I wonder. Just gonna reseat the battery here. Just kind of held the ribbon in while I pushed it down there. If that doesn't work, we'll try swapping around some of the SD cards. But there's a reason why it shouldn't work with just 3, so far as I know. Granted, I know very little. Let's see. Unhappy iPod. Doesn't seem to be the battery. I'm just gonna click it. No, it's just the angle. Okay. Let's try. There you go. This guy up here. I mean, I don't need 2 in there, still 512, which is plenty. Okay. Checkbox open to disconnect. Let's see what happens with that. Do not disconnect. Oh, and it pops up immediately. Okay, so it looks like it's unhappy. It wants pairs, not triples. The only 2 cards I have are 256 and a 256 and 512. I mean, like I said, I don't need 512. I had 512 in there before. The quantity was plenty. I just wanted the thinness, so I'm fine with that. iTunes detected an iPod appears to be corrupted. Yes, because it's completely formatted. Let's see. Restore. See how long this takes. Restoring iPod. Hopefully this moves pretty quick. Forgive the wobble. I don't have a very sturdy way of holding everything up, so I'm hoping that I mean, I'm assuming it's not because I'm using Droid Cam. I don't think it's going to do any wobble correction, but all I wanted was the focus. And next time I do a mouse build, it should be a lot nicer because, A, the camera's actually in a way that like makes sense for my brain versus it being like up that way, which is how it was before. So at least like this, I can be pretty sure that like, hey, if I'm pointing at this like this, you can kind of see like, hey, look, there is the red switch there. You can kind of see the red through there of that switch. There you go, you see those 2 guys there. So just for my brain, it works. Okay, definitely need to do something about this guy here. So it's not even a huge amount of pressure. Oh. I definitely like how this mouse turned out. I'm kind of disappointed that they didn't do the encoder, but whatever. It gives me something to tinker with, and I got to figure out what's not quite aligning here. What I'm thinking for this one is there's these kind of little plastic tabs on the other side of the thumb button that kind of rest up against the switch, and I'm thinking if I can like file those back a bit, that might just give me enough room so that I can't actuate it so easily with just minor pressure, and then give myself a little more travel there. It's not bad, I just want a little bit more. It just takes just enough pressure that it feels, yeah, it just doesn't quite feel quite right. It was like when I overtuned these guys where you could just barely touch it and it would start actuating. You didn't get that kind of like ramp up in force. It was just already at the peak and then you pressed and immediately depressed. But you want a little bit of that force wind up before it actually clicks, and you just don't get that here. Like, it's just immediate, just any amount of force immediately actuates it, versus the one right next to it where you kind of have to start applying and then it clicks. It's just you know, it's kind of hard to describe. It's more of a feel thing. It just doesn't quite feel right. You need a little bit of pre-travel to make things feel okay. Even these guys, I might tune back a little bit. They're a little twitchy. Actually, if this didn't have the latency issue with the click latency, it would be pretty much perfect because every part of this feels fantastic. Turn the boy back on. I did switch back to the TFP pads on this guy because I do plan to take it to the office with me when I need a mouse at the office. And as much as I like the ceramic skates on a desk mat, on like wood or plastic or like any non-desk mat material, ceramic's pretty loud. So I just wanted these guys because they're a lot quieter. It's not like they're bad. It's just that, you know, I just like the feel of these on the pad better. But these will do fine for day-to-day stuff. All right, do not disconnect, but I do not see anything open in iTunes anymore. So, oh no, spoke too soon. Just barely popped up. Hath been restored. Perfect. Okay. I think we're gonna be good with that. I should see about 512 minus formatting stuff. I'm guessing like 505 or something like that, but let's see. Just waiting for it to pop up here. Loading, loading, loading. Unfortunately, this guy slides across the table so easily I can't really keep it in frame. It's just like, oh, I'm just gonna go this way now. Like, no, stay here. Unfortunately, I tap and he shakes the camera. All right, there we go. Backlit logo is always a good sign. No one said these are fast. They're fun to have, but they are not fast. Oh, that's a good sign. Full color, do not disconnect. iTunes, what you got for me? All right, just got the Windows pop up. Come on, iTunes. Thinking, it's considering maybe doing something at some point. Oh, it's thinking hard. Can't even interact with the window. iTunes is a clunker, to say the least. Yes, I obsessively click when I'm waiting for things to happen. It's not a good habit, but it's one that I have. Oh, there we go. Just pop up. And then, of course, move the window for some reason. Welcome to your new iPod. I just want to see what the quantity is. Get started. Okay, it's got the 512 badge. 475. Okay, so that's a little bit less than I was expecting, but I think I only have like 235 in ALAX right now, so it's definitely more than enough. Let's see, iTunes library. How big is you? Let that load up. 12, 20, 35. Increment. 84. So 123. Excuse me. 165, 175. Past 200. 240, 250, 60, 275. 285. So final count 285 as of right now. Over 400, 475 on this guy. Definitely more than enough. Like I said, I'm more just interested in having a ThinPod again. So let's see. I think we can go ahead and eject this guy. Not gonna have you guys sit around and watch it sync. That's not all that interesting. Do not disconnect. Well, when can I disconnect? Please. Plus. iPod. Plus. Permission. Give me. There we go. Okay. All right. So let's see. We are going to just make sure everything's lined up before we close it. Like I said, I've got expansion room, so that's fine. I do intend to keep this iPod for a while. So you can actually see, one thing I noticed a little earlier, the thinness of this battery allows it to kind of sit on the other side of, frame, on the other side of that tab there. So that tab kind of exists to hold or interact with the drive and kind of keep it in place. This sort of allows it to sit on the other side of, and I think that's part of how it gets to be so thin. So yeah, very cool stuff. We're gonna go ahead and close this up. Oh, snappy snap. Oh, it is a tight fit. There we go. There's the way, there we go. One or two more. There we go. I think that's all of them. There we go. There's something about just that little extra bit of thinness that goes a really long way. have this guy kind of coming out a little bit. I wonder if something's in the way there. I may need to bend it a little bit, actually. That plastic sound is not my favorite. Sounds not quite fit right. Just trying to damage the blue anodized gorgeous case. I was told you would fit. Sometimes there's some trial and error. So what isn't fitting here? Seems like some of these clips are not clipping. You seem fine. You look like you've got plenty of room. So what is malfunction? You're good. You're good. We're thinking I'm gonna go over to the wood surface and just try to bend that lip in just to touch my hand. There we go. Down to put much pressure on these rivet cables here. Okay. A little bit of bending. Oh, okay, that feels a little better. I think we might have just been a touch misaligned there, but that is okay. We are by no means professionals. I'm glad I didn't accidentally interact with the language and set a language that I don't know how to use. One of the things that I like to do personally is I like to go and change the menu. I like shuffle, I like to repeat all, main menu, photos, don't care about extras, and don't care about videos. Like sleep to be on, shuffle to be on. There we go. That should, yep. I think, what did I miss? Sorry. I missed one because usually there's the bottom is sleep and the top is it's all music stuff. So let's see, what did I miss? Songs, podcasts, audio post genres. I don't use composer, I don't use radio. I don't use radio. Search I don't care about. Oh, did I turn on screen lock? Oh, weird. No, why would I want that on the main menu? I don't remember what it is. Doesn't really matter. For the case of this video. Screen lock off. Yeah, maybe I did have playlists on there. I don't remember. I don't think I have any playlists on this, so I'm not gonna leave it on. But here we go. So here we go. Thin iPod built. Ended up 475, which again is plenty for me. I was thinking of switching this to a clear. The actual. Click wheel to a clear, but I don't know. I like the way the black looks with the, because you get the black framing in here, the black button and whatnot. I feel like just this as a thing comes together. Plus black and blue is a nice color combination. Kind of goes well with the menu anyway. So yeah, there we go. Custom iPod built. Thin iPod with a 3000 milliamp battery. It should be able to handle up to a terabyte, but I've heard that when you get up to a terabyte, you know what we didn't test is the hole. So we put it to sleep. Does the hold work now? Yes, the hold works. That's the most annoying part, because like you'd be sitting there listening to music, throw it in your pocket, and then, you know, you'd, I don't know, brush your hand by your pocket, you know, because I usually have it facing out so I can click the buttons while it's in my pocket, or if I need to. Yeah, you brush your hand by and it would just the volume or something. So there we go, hold button working. There we go. Comes right back. Awesome. So yeah, there we go. Good and I forgot it has the icon for it too. Yeah, good and set. Very excited with this. Like I said, just kind of a fun thing to have and play around with. So thank you if you took the time to join me through this nonsense, and I hope you have a lovely rest of your week. Have a good one.